Hello and welcome back to the Right Within podcast. I'm your host, Michaela the Conscious Queen. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how you can create, how you can manifest, how you can live your dream life, okay? I feel like this is kind of like actually one of the hardest things to do, but it's like eventually the more you put more effort into yourself, the more you keep showing up for yourself, the more your dream life it will be like your reality. You know what I'm saying? Like something that you once dreamed of can be in your 3D reality, right? So today's episode we're going to be explaining in 4 steps how to tap into your dream life, how to start living the life that you always wanted to live, and kind of how to be the person that you've always wanted to be, right? In 4 steps, okay? So I like the first step. The first step is like forget about the past and the future, okay? Living in the present moment is how you create your dreams, okay? That's how you create the life of your dreams, because everybody goes through things in life. Everybody has some sort of trauma or have some sort of like heartbreak or whatever, and these things are obviously painful, but you have to realize that at a certain time you have to move on, right? Like things that happen in our past, they make us who we are, but at the same time, we have to learn from our past. We have to say, okay, I did this before. If this didn't work out for me, if this is not a part of the life that I see for myself, maybe it's time for me to heal that wound, or maybe it's time for me to move on. Maybe it's time for me to, start seeking, right? Start seeking my dreams. Start chasing my dreams, right? So, you have to forget about the past, okay? Think about the past as something that you are learning from, something that you take lessons from. Who you were, 5 years ago is not who you are today. And that's a good thing. That means you've been learning. That means you've been changing. That means you've been growing as a person. So, yeah. And the same goes for the future, okay? Don't even worry about the future either, because it hasn't happened yet, right? We always want to have dreams, right? We have goals, we have things that we look forward to in the future, but we cannot be too obsessed with what's going to happen tomorrow or, next year or whatever, right? We have to be present, okay? So if you're also like kind of the anxious type or always kind of worrying about the future, just relax, okay? Many things happen in our life that we're not certain about, okay? So you have to start getting comfortable with mystery. Start getting excited that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You might have a plan, you might be super organized and and like anxious, but that the truth is like we never actually do know what's going to happen in the future, but we can always be intentional. We can always show up for ourselves. We can always remember that we have the power to create what we want to see in our life, what we want to experience in our life, right? So, I would say, really to create your dream life, to manifest your dream life, I would say enjoy the present moment. Really just enjoy, meditating, enjoying just what you're living in currently, right? Like what you're experiencing right now, because where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be, okay? So I would say, yeah, like don't get too caught up in the past or what happened before. Don't get too caught up in, the future. Try to enjoy the present moment, meditate, and, be grateful where you are. Be grateful for where you are, right now. Okay, we wake up every day. And we're still alive and doing well. Each day, you have the ability to eat well, to exercise, to be compassionate, right? To take care of yourself and surround yourself with people who love you and who appreciate you, and people that you love and appreciate as well, right? So, this is what being present means. This is what can help you create your dream life. You're not too stuck on the past or focused on the future, but really being in the moment and honoring the present moment. Okay, so that's the first step. The first step is to be present. Yeah, that's the first step. The second step to creating your dream life is you have to be intentional or be specific. Okay, so if you're wanting something, okay, it could be good health, it could be being with your dream person, having a family, friends, pets, a nice house, car, whatever. Right, whatever it is that you want, nice, a successful business, whatever. You have to be very specific, or as specific as you possibly can be, so that your focus can go where your energy flows, right? Or your energy can go where your focus is, right? Because if you're not intentional, then it's going to be very difficult to create what you'd like to see in your life. It's going to be very difficult to achieve your dreams because you're not specific on what you want. And yes, we're not going to get like every single detail that we want from our dream life, but the more specific you are, the better chances you have of achieving that goal. Okay, so never ever feel as if you are in a rush to achieve these things either. Always know that the right opportunities for you, they will appear at the perfect place at the perfect time. You understand? So it's like you never have to like second guess yourself or say, oh my god, why don't I have that dream relationship yet, or why don't I have this successful business yet, or why aren't these things happening for me? And the simple answer is because you're really desperate for it. You know what I'm saying? So when you are intentional, when you're being intentional, you also have to just put it out into the universe. Exactly, just put it out into the universe. Write a list or write a paragraph of what you'd like to have in your life, and just be as detailed as you possibly can be. I actually did this last night. I got out a piece of paper and I wrote out exactly the type of scenario that I want to be living in my life. And so, with that being said, you just have to be intentional, be specific, and just release it out into the universe. You don't have to think too deeply about anything. Okay, if you will have it, it will manifest, right? If it's meant for you, it will happen. If it's not meant for you, it won't happen. Okay, so yeah, like I like to write like a list, and I like to write a paragraph and be very intentional, and I pray about it. I like to talk about it out loud to the god, to the goddess, because I also believe in the goddess. I feel like you can't really have the god without the goddess, right? But yeah, and I put it out into the universe, and I just really, with all my heart, with pure intentions, that's how I kind of, I guess, be very intentional about what I would like to have, and then the cool part is, once you write this thing out, once you write out your dreams, with pure intentions, right, with a pure heart, like, oh, this is gonna benefit me and benefit other people, right? When you have that goal, right, and you write it out, you just have to start acting like it already happened. I know, right? And it's like, it's crazy. It's like some people will think that you are crazy, but I mean, that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's what you want. If you have the intention of, I don't really want to hurt anybody or hurt myself, but this is what I would like to have, you'll have it. Okay? So when you start already behaving like it's already done, I mean, this is a power move, okay? So I guess that's the second step. Second step is be specific about what you want, be as detailed as you can possibly be, put it out into the universe, okay? And already just start acting as if it already happened. Act like you have it, right? If it's like your dream car, act like it's outright parked outside, right? Like if it's like having amazing friends, having people that love you, that will always be there for you, act like you just went to lunch with them. You know what I'm saying? or you're gonna meet them later for dinner, whatever. Like, you have to you have to start like stepping into that energy of it's already mine, right? Okay, so that was the second step, is be specific, be intentional, okay? The third step is live your life, okay? So, when you're manifesting your dream life, you can't just be so obsessed with it. Like, it's okay to think about it, yeah, I would like to have this. I would like to be in this position and be at this place, right? But at the end of the day, whatever is meant for you is going to happen, right? So in the meantime, right? So let's give an example. Let's say you're manifesting your dream car, right? Don't obsess over it, okay? Because it's going to drive you crazy. You kind of just have to put it out into the universe and maybe do like each day you work like closer and closer to your goal, right? But you're not like driving yourself crazy over it, because that's when we start crashing out. That's when people start panicking and things like that, because they're too obsessed. You want to be focused, you want to set your intention, and put in the steps to achieve your goals. Each and every day you do something little each and every day, right, to achieve that goal. But you never want to stress yourself out too much, and you never want to be too desperate, okay? Live your life, okay? Love yourself, get sleep, okay? Get quality sleep, and just remember that you're amazing, and just remember that you are working with reality. You're working with what you have already. This is why the first step is important, being present, because when you are present, you're allowing yourself to work with what is in your reality already, right? Some people, they want to reject reality, and you will hear this in other kind of spiritual kind of things, like being delusional and things like that. So there is a degree of delusion that you need, absolutely. You have to use your imagination, and your imagination is somewhat delusional. But when you work towards a goal every single day, it's not delusion, it's hard work, right? When you are putting in the steps to get to where you want to be, right, it's not delusion. It's, I have a dream and I am doing what it takes to get to my dream. Okay, so you have to live your life, you have to put in the work, okay? Do what you love to do. I feel like people, when you start living your life, when you start just doing whatever makes you happy, and let's say you have a hobby, whatever, and you will start to these feelings, you will start to tap into high vibrational feelings. You'll start tapping into your higher self, your heart chakra, right? And people who are happy, right? And I'm not saying happy all the time, because it's impossible to be happy all the time. But people who are happy, for the most part, they have a better time creating their reality. They have a better time, seeing something, they manifest something, they think about something, and they get it quick, fast, right? And it's because when you're in that high vibrational energy, taking care of yourself, doing what you love, romanticizing your life, right? This is when these, like, your dreams just start, they just start manifesting. It just starts happening. And you're like, how is this happening? It's because you are in a high vibrational state. You're tapping into all your chakras. Okay. And I could make a podcast on chakras. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, you're tapping into all your 7 chakras, and you are, essentially giving yourself that, grace, giving yourself that, I guess, how can I say, like, giving yourself that, like, I guess, time to be, to do whatever you want to do, basically, whatever makes you happy, right? Oftentimes, like, we forget to, like, romanticize our lives, but you should do that. Everything that you do is really magical, okay? We forget to appreciate how far we've come, right? Sometimes you think, like, oh my gosh, like, why am I not doing enough? And it's because you haven't looked back and say, wow, I actually have done a lot, actually. So, you take that time, appreciate how far you've come, enjoy the very mundane, very boring things in your life, like things that you don't even think about, that you're like, you wake up, maybe you have a cup of coffee or you have a cup of tea in the morning. Why don't you just take some time out and really, like, enjoy that? Enjoy making your cup of coffee, enjoy making your tea or whatever, or if you have breakfast, or if you have whatever, like, in the morning, like, if you have a morning routine, or maybe going to sleep, you have a night routine. Sometimes before bed, I like to, like, really take my time and use my my lotions and things like that, right? So, like, these small things in our lives, these small routines that we have, try to really enjoy it, right? This is part of creating your dream life, because these things that a lot of people take for granted, right? These small actions that we do, you should never take it for granted. You should always, like, find joy in the small things, right? Find joy in, wearing a comfortable, maybe you have an outfit you like, put it on. Something that makes you feel good, put it on, okay? Creating something beautiful, like maybe a piece of art, or eating a very nice dinner, right? So yeah, I feel like these things are very, like, small. These things are like, oh, I'm just making dinner, whatever. But no, sometimes it is a very beautiful process. And, in step 3, living your life means enjoying your daily routine. Really, like your daily routine or your nightly routine or both, right? Enjoying those things, because that is essentially what is going to bring you to your dream life, right? You enjoying what you're already doing now, okay? Because, remember, you're unique and you deserve love, and you deserve to live a magical life. You deserve to live the life of your dreams. And when we start to think about all we have accomplished so far, that is magical, right? And it starts by noticing that, let's say where you are right now, that's something you probably prayed for in the past, right? And we right, and we kind of, like, say, oh wow, I actually did pray for, like, this specific moment, right? So yeah, step 3 is about living your life. It's about, like, those routines, your habits, really being intentional, enjoying those, like, habits that you have, right? Those, like, things that you're like, oh, okay, whatever, I'm just brushing my teeth, or I'm just taking a shower, whatever, but you really enjoy it, and really feel, I'm so blessed, I'm so thankful to be able to do these things, right? Because this is what I prayed for at some point in my life, and I remember specifically praying for this, right? So yeah, that's step 3. Put your intentions out to the universe, start living your life, okay? And then the last step is step 4 is receiving, okay? You have to be able to receive your dreams, okay? So this is like the most important one, right? Sometimes, our dreams happen when we least expect them to. It's like, oh man, like I remember writing this down, and I remember saying like, wow, it would be great if this happened. And then when it finally happens, you're like, oh wow, like I remember I remember writing this down. And now it's finally here, right? So when whatever you pray for appears in your life, celebrate it, okay? When you get that, when you reach that milestone, or you achieve that big dream of yours that you've always had, be happy about it, celebrate yourself, receive it into your life, right? When you finally get to marry the person of your dreams, or you have a successful business, or maybe you're starting a family, maybe you're having children, or maybe you're traveling the world, like whatever, and relish in these moments, right? Because this is what you have been anticipating for, days, for weeks, for months, for even years. For some people, manifesting for years their dream life, and it finally happens, right? So yeah, you always have to just allow yourself to experience good things, allow yourself to experience that dream that you once had and that is now in your reality. Because see, a lot of people, they will engage in the self-sabotage, and this is really sad, honestly, because you have some people who they will pray, they say, oh, I will pray, I want to meet a good man, or I want to meet a good woman, right? And then a good man or good woman comes into their life, and they say, I'm not worthy. It's just too good to be true. And it's just like, really? Like, you prayed for this for how long? How long have you prayed for this for? And now you finally have it, and you're rejecting it. Why? Don't do that, guys. If you're listening to me, I hope you are. And I'm so grateful for all my listeners, yes. Do not engage in the self-sabotage, okay? If something good happens, just be happy that it's happening. Oh my gosh. You have your dream person, they made you something, or they brought you flowers. Wow, thank you. Oh, this is beautiful. Don't ever sit there in your mind and talk yourself out of receiving your dream. So many people will do this. They sit there, talk themselves out of it. They sit there, try to rationalize it. No. Allow yourself to experience good things. Allow yourself to be happy. Okay? We struggle in life. Everybody struggles at some point. So when something good happens, be happy about it. Okay? When it's something that you've been really wanting to happen and it finally happens, smile. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Okay? Yes, remember, you always have what it takes to live your best life. All of my listeners, you have what it takes. You have what it takes to be around people who want you, who want to be the best, who want you to be the best version of yourself, right? People who want you to grow, right? And who will inspire you, and people that you are inspired by as well. Okay? So yes, choose to succeed. Success is a choice. Choose to succeed. Choose to go further in your life. Achieve the things you want to achieve. Okay? And pray that, whenever something bad does happen, because it always does, it's unavoidable, right? Pray that when something bad does happen, you are strong enough, you are wise enough, you are capable of handling your challenges, right? The challenges that come into your life, because these things make us better. These things, any challenge, any struggle we go through makes us better than how we used to be. Okay? So yes, the last step is receive your dreams. Do not talk yourself out of it. Don't do that. I see so many people do that. It's like you want the job, your dream job, okay? And it finally happens. And it's too good to be true. Nothing is ever too good to be true. Okay? This is what miserable people say because they are afraid of stepping into their full potential. They are afraid of stepping into the life of their dreams. But do not be afraid, okay? In life, you choose love or fear, okay? It's either love or fear, okay? When you step into your dreams, when you step into the life that you actively are creating, writing down, manifesting, don't be afraid of it. There's nothing to be afraid of it. Okay? There's nothing to be afraid of. Do not sabotage yourself. Love yourself. And when it's time for you to get that dream car, or maybe you have a business, successful business, or your dream relationship, or whatever it is, be ready to receive it. Say thank you. Say, oh, thank you so much, universe. I've been praying for this for how many times? How many years? How many months? And I have it now. Wow. Thank you. Right? So, yes. Yeah, I think that's it. The 4 steps, we'll just go over it shortly. First step is to live in the present moment. Don't get too caught up in the past or the future. Enjoy being in the present moment. Okay? Grateful for what you have today. All right? And be intentional. Be specific about what you want. Okay? Don't be like, oh, maybe I can have this, or no. You have to speak in absolutes. You have to say, this is the type of car that I want, and be very specific. Okay? That's just an example. Okay? And then the step 3 is just live your life. Put it out to the universe. Go about your day. Make a dinner. Work out. Talk with your friends. Whatever. Just forget that you even said it. Forget that you even put it out there. Okay? And then the last step is to receive it. When it does happen, and you're like, whoa, wow, it's actually happening. Say thank you. Be grateful. Okay? Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't sabotage yourself. Okay? Love yourself. Love your dreams. Be thankful that it happened in real life. Okay, so that was the episode today. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Next week's episode, we're gonna be talking about the dark night of the soul. Yeah, because a lot of time when people have the spiritual awakening, they go to the dark night of the soul. They go through kind of depression and all these things. So next week episode, we're gonna talk about the dark night of the soul. Also shadow work, because for me, they go hand in hand. The dark night of the soul and shadow work, they go together for me. Because the dark night of the soul is like it's like that sad part, right? People think, oh, I'm spiritual, yeah, everything is crystals and rainbows and sunshine, right? But there's another part of it where it's very where it's very sad, exactly, and like lonely, right? So we're gonna be talking about that in the next episode, how you can get through the dark night of the soul successfully, how you can utilize tools like shadow work to get to a place where you are very comfortable, where you are growing, where you are evolving, and happy in your spiritual journey. Okay, so tune into that episode. Thanks for listening again, and stay right within.